Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mask Diva. How's everyone doing this evening? Alright, well, if you're wondering why I'm sitting so close, it's because we're having problems with the lighting. Okay, and if you're wondering why I'm using kind of a whispery indoor voice, it's because I do not want my voice to come across super loud. Alright, I don't want it to come across sharp. So I hope you don't mind me using the indoor voice. And the lighting is really super bright. We had to move some furniture around in here, and the lighting's super bright. It's making me look super pale. And someone said that I look like I wasn't feeling well. And I looked at the video and I was like, yeah, I looked really like pale like a ghost. And yeah, I know I'm a white girl and all that, so but I'm not really that pale, and I looked really pale. I'm not that pale in person, so I look a lot healthier in real life. So I thought if I sit really close, you guys can see me a lot better, and we're gonna do that. And hopefully you don't mind me using the whispery indoor voice, and I'm gonna maybe connect with you guys better sitting closer anyway. Hopefully you guys like that better, and hopefully I can sit here and make eye contact, and it's gonna take a minute, so hopefully we're gonna do this right. Okay, hopefully you guys like me doing this way better. Without further ado, I would like to start talking about drug fiend behaviors. Okay, so as you guys know, I'm an addict in recovery. I have 4 years clean and sober just this last November 29th of this year. Okay, so I have 4 years clean and sober from benzodiazepines. Okay, so I had some pain management problems, and I had problems just with my nerves and that sort of thing, and so I won that battle. Okay, I kicked it myself. Alright, so the thing is, drug addiction is no joke. It's a serious thing, so I'm going to be making light of the drug fiend behaviors, but do understand that addiction is no joke. And speaking as an ex-addict, I understand that. So if you think I'm making fun of drug addicts, I'm not, because I was one. Okay, so if you struggle with addiction, I'm definitely not making fun of you, because I also struggled with addiction for 10 years. Okay, but I am going to be joking around about this a little bit, but this is also serious. But I will be talking about kind of some of the things that people do. All right. One thing I want to start out with is drug dealers. Okay, this is the behavior of drug dealers. Say like you are say like you're somewhere where there's public transportation. All right. If you are approached by like a young person, like somebody in junior high or something like that, like a 12-year-old kid, 13-year-old kid, and they are trying to sell you some weed, okay, that kid is some kind of amateur drug dealer. They're not like a real drug dealer. Okay, real drug dealers are not like drug pushers. Okay, you know, when people make jokes about drug pushers, real drug dealers have clients. They have a client base where they real drug dealers go to parties and give people drugs. Okay, so, and they build up a client base. Real drug dealers get asked for drugs. They get chased around by their clients. Okay, they don't need to go around and look for customers, first of all. So knowing that, they don't need to do that, and they get referred to by their customers. Okay, so if you're getting approached by these amateur drug dealers, don't take it personally. They don't know who to target. Okay, these are people that have, bottom shelf weed or bottom shelf whatever it is that they have. They don't have good product, first of all, and they also they don't know who to target. So they don't think you're an addict because they wouldn't know. All right, they're drug dealers who don't know what they're doing. So I don't want you to take it personally like you look like you're a drug user, because these are drug dealers who don't know what they're doing. All right. Secondly, drug users don't look any particular kind of way. I was an addict for 10 years and nobody knew. All right, because drug users, street addicts, and addicts like me are two different types of addicts. Okay. People didn't come up and try to deal me speed, obviously, because I didn't do speed. Okay. So I had my pills that I got from my doctors, and I stayed sedated. Okay. People would come up and ask, thinking that I was a dealer, because I was always dressed really nice, would come and ask me for things, right? And I would turn them away. And because, like I'm telling you, people chase drugs. They don't need you to go push drugs on them. So if anyone is ever coming up and trying to sell you drugs, I don't want you to take it personally. If people are coming up and asking you where to find drugs, do not take it personally, okay? Because here's the thing, people who are chasing drugs, they're going to ask anybody. It's not like they think, oh, this person looks like they smoke weed, or they, do meth, or they do this, or they do that. No, it's not that. It's just that they're going to ask anybody. They just want to get high so bad. Okay, so they don't really, it's not like you look like you're always doing that, or that you have done that, or whatever, okay, because you can't tell who does what. Okay, so it's do not take it personally if someone comes up and looks at you and kind of looks like they're sizing you up. You just look like you're not going to yell at them. Or they just want to get high so bad. Okay, like I look like a nice person. I look like I'm not going to yell at someone. And I look really dressed up, and I have pink hair and tattoos. Okay, so people come up like, well, she, and I'm dressed up really, really nice, so people are like, well, she might be a dealer. I'm going to come up and ask her if she has anything. People come up and ask me if I have anything. I've not sold people drugs here. I've been clean and sober with no relapses for 4 years. Why would I have anything for anybody? Give me a break. You know what I'm saying? It's like they have no reason to ask me, okay? But they do, and I don't take it personally. I mean, I would, but I don't. Because I know when people are seeking drugs, that's what they do, okay? Addicts go around just asking everybody they can ask who doesn't look like a cop. And I know I don't look like a cop. No way. Pink hair and tattoos. I don't look like a cop, okay? And cops don't go around taking pictures of mushrooms and talking to cats. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious I'm not a cop. Okay, so, and I'm always taking, like, movie footage of stuff, and, I think it's pretty obvious, I'm not a cop. So, yeah, they're gonna go around, because when people want to get high, they're just gonna go around and ask anybody they think is not going to yell at them. So do not take it personally when somebody asks you if you know where to find this, that, and the other, okay? And the thing is, they don't want to go to the dispensary and buy weed. I don't know if you're from California or somewhere else where it's okay to get weed, because people just are like standing on the corner just smoking weed, blowing the smoke everywhere. Okay, I don't want to get a contact high, okay, because I stopped smoking weed a long time ago. I don't want to get a contact high, okay? I'm a heart patient now. I don't want to get a contact high.
Okay, I don't want smoke in my lungs. So I'm like, great, someone's just standing there smoking weed. Now I have to cross the street so I don't get smoke in my lungs. It's just like not wanting cigarette smoke in my lungs, okay? It's just like, I'm not like pointing the finger, you're smoking weed, you're a bad person. I don't even care, to be honest. I mean, that's your business if you want to smoke weed or whatever, but quit trying to blow it in my face. You know what I'm saying? So then I have to like cross the street. Like, how rude are you just standing on the corner like blowing weed smoke in people's face? I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people around here who would actually appreciate it, but now I have to cross the street because I don't want smoke in my face. Jerk. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I have to do that because people just are, standing around blowing weed smoke at everybody. But I mean, I live in a state where you can actually do that. I know there's a bunch of people watching me being like completely jealous of that. It sounds really cool until you have to live around it. Until you don't want weed smoke in your face because you're a heart patient and you don't want to go around breathing smoke. Okay. It's not cool. So I'm like, okay, great. I don't want any smoke in my face of any kind. So it doesn't matter if it's weed smoke or, smoke of someone's cooking or, I don't want barbecue smoke. I don't want, weed smoke. I don't care how good the smoke smells. I mean, I don't want to breathe it. I don't want people's cigarette smoke. Not good. So I have to, and like you can smell it from like a block away, and sometimes what kind of weed it is. I'm just like, great, I have to cross the street. So here's another thing. When people are dope fiends, this is what they do. You cannot have your curtains open. I swear, this is what every drug-seeking person does. They do like this in your window. Do you know a dope fiend? Do you know somebody who's seeking drugs? They always do like that in your window. They always do like this in your window. Do you have a neighbor like that? They won't knock on your door. They always do like that in your window. You know someone like that, huh? They don't knock on the door like normal people. They go like that in your window. I had a neighbor like that. And I don't know if she thought that I had pills or what she thought, but I had to actually, because she's shorter than me, I had to actually cover up the window to the point where it only let in light at the top, so she couldn't do like that. Like it was too tall for her to do that. Because I kept telling her to stop doing that. I said, you're invading my privacy. I said, I'm on the computer doing things and you need to not do that. Don't do like that in my window. But she wouldn't stop doing like that. She wouldn't knock on the door like a normal person. So I had to just put up like posters to block the window to the point where it was too tall for her to do like that anymore. But all dope fiends do like that. They all look in the window like that. And I don't know if it's if you just have to be a drug addict to do that, or if you have to be on speed to do that. But that is like, I call that dope fiend behavior. I don't know anyone who isn't on drugs that does that. Okay, here's another thing they do. All right. Someone will come over and they'll start asking for things. They'll start asking to borrow things. All right, they might be hungry, and you're like, people on speed aren't hungry. Okay, well, yeah, sometimes they are because they spent all their money on, and some people who do speed are still hungry. They still eat. Can you believe that? Like, I know you're like, but they're skinny, and like, you can tell because they're all like sucked up, and they're like looking like, Michael Jackson's Thriller and stuff. Like they're all sucked up and they're too skinny and stuff. No, bro, they're like, some of them still are like constantly hungry. And sometimes drugs actually makes you more hungry. It doesn't make you more and it doesn't make you not want to eat. Okay, and it's because they're spending all their money on drugs. Okay, or maybe they're doing more than one kind of drug. excuse me. So they want to come over and they want to eat at your house. So they come over and they ask, do you have this? Do you have that? And they're always hungry, and they always ask you if you have this, that, or the other in your fridge. So they always just want like, they think your house is a grocery store, and they won't stop talking about food. Okay, here's this other, like, dope fiend situation. Okay, so I had this friend, and she would come over and she would just sit on my couch, and she's like, do you have any cotton balls? Do you have any this? Do you have an envelope? And she would just, how on Friday, how he sells, like, do you have 2 stamps in an envelope? Do you have the, she was like that. Like, I'm serious. Do you have this, kind of a soda? She would just, like, ask for all this stuff, and I said, if you ask me for one more thing, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. And so if you don't give them the stuff that they're asking for, they try to steal something from you. They always want to just steal from you, though. What else did they do? Okay, dope fiends. They always try to flirt with you. Like, they always hint around that they'd like to have sex with you. They're always kind of like, they always talk trash about the person that you're seeing. And they always kind of like flirt with you. Like they always hint around like they'd sleep with you or something like that. Okay, yeah, they probably would. But, well, because when you do speed, it makes you really sexual. But the point is, one of the reasons why they'll have sex with you is because they want something from you. That's just the phone, just ignore it. So, hold on. There, okay, turn that off. Okay, hopefully that wasn't a dope fiend. No, just kidding. So, okay. So, they will hint around like they find you attractive and like that they have sex with you and stuff like that. And they'll not like the person that you're with, and they're kind of obsessed with sex, and they're constantly talking about their exes and who they've been with, and stuff like that. And yeah, and they flirt with you, and they may have even tried to make a pass at you before. Let's see. Yeah, but they will always ask you for things. If you don't give them something, they will try to steal something on the way out. This is the same thing if you've ever had like a friends with benefits. That person will come back around, and if you've had a friends with benefits, that's very likely that person is on drugs. Or they have a dope fiend mentality, even if they're not. Because what kind of person like just wants to have sex with you? That's weird. Have some self-respect. Seriously, that's a little bit. Sorry. Let's see what else. Yeah, they will ask you for a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Bozos. Bozos are usually drug fiends. Who else has all that time to show up at your house constantly? They don't have a job. If they do, they're a drug runner. Okay. They get their dope because the dealer says, can you run this bag over to someone's house and do this and do that? Okay, well that's how, the drug dealer's getting them to run the dope from here to there and everything like that, and then they have all this spare time to walk you all over the place and bother you. Okay. The only reason you can't get rid of the bozo because they're just like, they have boundless energy. Well, I wonder why. It's because they're freaking wired all the time. That bozo is like, nobody can keep up with that freaking bozo because he's under the influence. Or she, that bozette. Let's not make this like a guy thing. Let's say the bozo's a bozette, okay? And the bozette is a drug runner. That's usually like, that's really common, is to find a bozette as a drug runner because you never think it's going to be a female. But bozettes, they make good drug runners. Okay, and they've got boundless energy, and they're just like all over the place. You find a lot of these tweaker bozettes and bozos, and they're on bicycles. Okay, because they usually got their license suspended. So they're either walking you everywhere, or they're on bicycles, and then when they're not around you, and they're not walking you everywhere, and they're not on their bicycles running drugs, they're dumpster diving. Yeah. So if they bring you a present, it came from a dumpster. So just know that. If you think it's really nice whatever they got you, they got it from a dumpster and they washed it off with someone's hose and they gave it to you. So you need to know that. That's what's going on, with those tweakers. Yeah, that's some dope fiend behavior, and they're constantly just they can out-talk me. Definitely out-talk me. And anyone who can out-talk me, I'm like so suspicious, bro. Completely so suspicious. Yeah, they're a definite dope fiend, and they sit and twitch and blink, and they're constantly thirsty. I don't mean like, well, they're horny thirsty, but I mean they're always like drinking like Mountain Dew, and they're what else are they doing? Yeah, they're constantly drinking Mountain Dew and riding bicycles and going through dumpsters, and they're just like constantly horny, and and they have all this spare time on their hands, and they're always asking you for something, always peeping in your window like that. So and they always have all the spare time to bother you. So your bozo is probably a dope fiend. Yeah. And when I say dope, you guys know I mean speed, right? Yeah. Okay. So those are some dope fiend behaviors. If you have people who are constantly asking you for things, asking you for favors, and asking you for things, even if they aren't on dope, that's bozo stuff, and that's dope fiend behavior. You want to get these people out of your life who are always asking you for things, okay? Whether they're dope fiends or not. Get rid of them. Get rid of them, okay? Well, this is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mass Diva. I love you all, and good night.